Okay. Hare Krishna, Priya Chaitanya Prabhu, am I visible and audible? Priya Chaitanya Prabhu?
Yes, you are visible, audible.
Okay, so I'll start. Shall I start? Na correct, na?
Yes.
Om Anyan Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So I am very happy that all of you have taken out time and joined on Zoom, and few are there on YouTube and Facebook also. So to straight go into the topic without spending much time on formalities, I have been given this opportunity second time by His Grace Priya Chaitanya Prabhu. Last time we spoke about cow urine. Those who have not seen that video, maybe he will put up in some comment in some time. So basically today's topic is about ghee, GHEE, या हिंदी में घी बोलते हैं. Basically we can see many types of ghees in the market, and from wide variety of branding, range, costing, and many concepts coming up. This ghee is good, this ghee is not good, this, etc. So to see, my study is on the ghee, or the concept of ghee, or the information of ghee given in the Vedic scriptures. And so when I speak about ghee, I speak about that. So just to make a language difference, or to make a difference of wording, most of the time in my talk today, I won't use the word ghee, but I will use the Sanskrit word, the grut. Why? Because it's the same item, but I just initially I will tell what's the big difference between that. Because otherwise, we might get confused. Like because I will be speaking of something else, and you will be thinking of something else in your mind. So therefore, just to avoid the confusion, it's just like there is original gold and imitation gold in the market. And if I just say gold, some people might confuse, and they may take imitation gold for the original gold, or vice versa. So I'll be using word ghee occasionally, but more I'll be using the word gruta, because in Sanskrit the word uses gruta, and gruta is told, or what do you call it? The property of the gruta is told as amrut, or nectar, or elixir, which means it gives your body strength, long life, health, etc. But in today's world, especially by the medical world, and even otherwise by the people, ghee is highly demonized. Means they say it's so bad for health, so bad for, it causes this and cholesterol, etc., etc., etc. So yes, they are also correct in a quite big way, and what the Vedic scripture says are also correct in quite big way. How can both be correct? One is telling the gruta is amrut, and another is telling it's one of the very bad things for health. They are both correct, because actually, even though the word is same, ghee, both places, the Vedic scriptures are talking of something else. Even though the name is ghee or gruta, and what the present day doctors or people talk, although they call it ghee, but actually that is a completely different substance. So my main study is of the gruta, or the ghee, which is mentioned in the Vedic scriptures, and how that is nectar. So I won't spend time telling that how the factory ghee is not good. It is not good anyway. It is actually not ghee also, if we see the Vedic standards, although it is labeled as ghee. Just like the imitation gold can never be the gold, although we call it gold. Similarly, anything other than gruta, the way it is made, the way it is manufactured or processed, is nothing else is gruta or ghee in the real sense. So what I will be talking today is limited only to the word gruta, or the ghee, which is made as mentioned in the scriptures. How it is made, I will be telling in short, but in very brief, we can say how Yashoda Mata made it. Those who know some pastimes of Krishna, it's just like the way Yashoda Mata made ghee or gruta, the same way we have to make it. And anything else, even a small compromise here and there, then it won't be nectar. So then people will say it's a very rare item, very difficult to get. Some way this is correct. I will come to that little later. But let's first learn in the beginning, because otherwise there will be some confusion. You may say Prabhuji is talking something which is completely different than what the present day people or doctors talk about. Yes, it is different because I am talking of some another thing, and present day doctors talk of some another thing, although both the things are called the same name. That is the only thing. The common between them is only the name, nothing else. So, the grut or the ghee in the Vedic culture, there are few very, very, very important and non-negotiable conditions for that grut or ghee to be amrut. The first, the milk has to be from the Vedic cows. Some people call it Deshi cows, some people call it Indian cows. I would call it the Vedic cows. How to know that? It's simple. It has to have a very prominent and visible hump on the back and dewlap below the neck. And if you want to find out the more points of difference between the Vedic cow and non-Vedic cow, I have a small blog on this topic called mgdas.com, and you can go and the first post itself tells the difference. But the simple one, the prominent one, is a hump on the back and a dewlap, a skin fold at the neck. Those cows who have the hump and the dewlap are the Vedic cows, and those who don't have are the non-Vedic cows. So the milk from which the ghee is made or the gruta is made should be from the Vedic cows. I am talking about that. I will be talking about that in today's session. Next, in the factories, generally the ghee or the gruta is made by centrifugal force. They rotate the milk in fast way and the fat is separated. That is not the way it is made in the Vedic culture. The milk has to be curded. Some curd has to be added, and it has to be processed by adding curd, kept overnight, and the whole milk become curd. Then, so not a factory made process where the cream is separated. That is not the process to make ghee or gruta. It has to be made into curd. Then it has to be churned in both directional, not only one unidirectional like a mixer. In both directions, the churning has to be done, ideally by hand. But I would say a little compromise is allowed here. If a machine, a motor machine which rotates in both directions in a slow speed, not in a very fast speed, like the hand, if the hand rotation can be imitated by a machine, the speed and the direction, I would say that is okay. Ideally is by hand. But if we make a machine, people have made it. Those who churn the milk, the motor goes on like this, like this, like this, like this. Or in another compromise is there two rotations simultaneously happening. In one is clockwise, one is anti-clockwise. That would I would say a okay compromise. But only one direction rotation is not okay. It will not make gruta. It will make something which looks like a gruta, but it is not amrut. So these are the main basic steps. First step, milk from the Vedic cow. Second step, made by curding it, we have to make it into curd. And third step is bidirectional rotation, either by hand or by a machine which imitates the movements of the hand. This is what Yashoda did it. So I will be talking of gruta or ghee made in this fashion. And such a ghee or gruta will not be available under any brand of any world. It just can't be manufactured in a big way. It will be made only in a small way, small scale, or occasionally a medium scale unit. If there is any factory which is making a ghee like supplying hundreds and thousands of kilos, it can't be made in the right way. It's just not simply possible. The way to make it in the right way is possible only in a small or maybe medium scale process. So having said that, I will have to introduce another concept before going ahead. Those who are into natural healing or Ayurvedic lifestyle, they know this new term called as Prana Shakti. The Vedic culture or the Vedic sciences or the Ayurveda or any Vedic sciences, they acknowledge an energy or a living Shakti, living force within our body, which is called as Prana Shakti. And actually it is that Prana Shakti which keeps our body alive, or it regenerates our body, or it repairs our body. And that is that Prana Shakti. If it is weakened, then it doesn't repair our body or regenerate our body. For example, same age, two boys or girls, having a same lifestyle basically in the same city, if they get say fracture, one gets healed little faster, one gets healed little slower. Why? Because they have different degrees of Pran Shakti. This is just an example. So what happens? I'm talking about the Pran Shakti. If you want to see, okay, what happens when we know, I will tell why it is important to be churned in both directions and not very fast also. Because when we churn the butter in single direction, it causes a bit more friction, and the temperature of that butter which curd which is being churned increases by half a degree or maybe 1 degree. And when we churn in both directions, the temperature decreases by half a degree or 1 degree. And that half a degree, 1 degree change, either way, as per the direction of churning, causes a big change in the Pran Shakti going out of that butter, or in fact, keeping the original Pran Shakti and getting more Pran Shakti from the universe into the butter. When the churning is done in one direction, especially fast off, the Pran Shakti goes off. When it is done in slow motion in a bi-direction, the Pran Shakti is maintained and more Pran Shakti comes in. Actually, in Sanskrit, we call these two words called Gharshan and Karshan. Gharshan is like what we call it friction, where the heat is generated, and in the first case, when unidirectional motion or very fast motion, heat is generated and the Pran Shakti goes down. And second is Karshan. Karshan means we call it Akarshan. In Vedic culture, the agriculture is called Krushi, same, where the Pran Shakti is brought in that food. Therefore, it is called as Krushi. Or when we churn in both directions, it is called as Karshan, not Gharshan, where the temperature goes down a bit, not in a big way, 5-10 degrees, maybe half a degree or maximum 1 degree. And that Karshan attracts the universal Pran Shakti into that butter and curd and then buttermilk and like that. I'll just tell one small experience with myself before moving ahead. Just this. In the initial days maybe around 5 or maybe more, 7 years back, something like that, when I learned this knowledge of Pran Shakti and cow and urine and butter and milk and like that, I had some small knee pain at that time. It was not a big way, but not a negligible way also. And I heard if we take hot milk with ghee, it can help into curing it and like that. So I did that for 6 months or something like that. And then the knee pain was totally gone. And I was happy. I wanted to do more study. So because this ghee is not very easily available. At that time, 10 years back, it was very, very difficult. Now, because of the awareness, as I said, supply and demand. Because of awareness, people are demanding it. And the farmers, those who want to make it, they're happily making it, because there is at the present state, there is so much awareness about this right type of ghee that there is always a more demand than the supply. So it's good sign. But when I was doing this 10 years back, it was not that easy. So one person met me. I went to he showed me the video of his cows. They were Indian or Vedic cows, and he would make into curd, and then he would churn and he would give me the ghee. But he told me that is churned in both directions, but it was not. So see, my knee pain had gone for 6 months, and I was taking that ghee and milk daily. This ghee which he gave me was from Vedic cow, which was made by making the milk into the curd. Only thing, he was churning in one direction in a very fast motor action. That's the small change he did. And when I started taking that ghee in the milk in the night, within 3 days, just 3 days, the knee pain came back. So I called up that person. Hey, there is some problem. Something which was cured in 6 months, it was cured for 6 months. How can it happen in 3 days? He said no. He said no, my ghee is churned in both directions. I asked him to show me a video or the photo of a machine or what it may be. And then ultimately he accepted. No, actually I spoke lies. So that's the difference. Please understand, when the Vedic scriptures say something, they mean it. We may think, oh, kya farak padta hai, aisa kiya, usse kiya, kya farak padta hai. No. So therefore, such a growth will be available from individuals or a small scale goshala, where you have to have that faithful, reliable person. No branded ghee, no branded by any brand of India or the world. will be of this ghurta. It can't be. It's just simply. And those who can say we can give as much ghee as you want, 5 kg, 10 kg, 20 kg, 50 kg. Again, it cannot be ghurta. It has to be in only small scale. Only reliable is the person who is making it. You have to know him, or you have to at least see his video and like that, whether he is making it in the right way. Something like that. Actually, this is a different topic, but just make one sentence. All our food should directly come from the farm to the kitchen. No food should come from the farm to the factory to the kitchen. Anything that goes from the farm to the factory is not a food. It won't give us health. It becomes a product. It will just, they are just doing it to make money and it will take away your health. Anyway, I'm not into all factory products, but yes, anything that comes from a factory is not food. The food should come from the farm directly to your kitchen and then to your plate. So anyway, so same rule applies for the ghurta also. This ghurta, we have to find it out from a reliable person, from a localized farmer or a local goshala who actually does make it in this way. It's difficult, but it's not impossible. As I said, when I started with my study 10, 12 years back, it was really difficult. Now, because awareness is increasing, many people are into it and there's a lot of demand, and there are some people doing it. And because all of you are from all over the world, actually now, since my, like as some people know in the world that I have some study of this Panchagavya, there are people from even outside the India. They say, they ask me one question that we have milk, we have the Indian cows, the Vedic cows, but we don't have the original curd to make the first curd. Actually, there is some process in the Vedic culture how to make a curd if you don't have that original first curd, because there's some process by adding some tamarind water, and I won't go into that detail, but there's a process. So anyway, so it's not so difficult, impossible. And actually, if we start looking out for it, there are some people in the world, some people, especially in India, who want to make such ghee and they are making such ghurta if there is a demand, and they'll be very happy. And both will be winning the situation. Those who are making, they'll be happy there is a demand, and those who want, they'll be happy they are getting it. But it won't be available from any factory. You have to source it from a localized farmer or a goshala or a friend who has cows. Or best, get the right type of milk, and another best way is make it in the home. If someone is interested, that's a very wonderful, soul satisfying experience to churn the butter, churn the curd early in the morning. Anyway, so henceforth, I am speaking only about this ghurta. I know I took 15 minutes for this, but it is very important because this is only studied and described in the Vedic culture or the Vedic scriptures. And I am speaking only about that. I am not speaking about anything else labeled as ghee. I am speaking only about from Vedic cow made by curd, hand churned, or a machine which imitates or copies the hand churning movement, and then taking out the butter and slowly heating it on the fire, a gradual heat, not a very high heat. So, those who are having some basic Ayurvedic knowledge, the main three terms, Kapha, Vata, and Pitta, this Ghruta or ghee can cure, it is the best cure for Pitta and also for Vata diseases. The diseases which have origin in Pitta and Vata, I'm not expecting everyone to know Vata and Pitta, but just you can listen this small point and we'll move ahead. Pitta means fire in the body. Actually, as I will tell in the future, this Ghruta is such a wonderful thing, na? It balances everything in our body. The correct Ghruta, if you have low blood pressure, it will increase it. If you have high blood pressure, it will decrease it. It will balance everything. Like especially ladies, but anyone for that matter. The ladies we see generally they have the tendency to have fat deposit below their waist on the thigh area. So if they have that, the Ghruta will shift it from thigh area to the waist area. If somebody has more in the waist, it will shift to another. It will just do the balancing job in our whole body. So similarly, this Ghruta or the ghee is the best thing in the world, the first number to cure the Pitta diseases, and also one of the best to cure the Vata diseases. For the Vata diseases, a natural, non-refined oil is another also best for Vata diseases, but ghee or Ghruta is also. If you have less digestive fire, Ghrutta will increase it. As I said, balancing. If you have more of Pitta, more of fire, the Pitta will burn the ghee and the Pitta will get saturated, it will go down. So similarly, if you are low weight, if you are less weight, the Ghrutta will make you gain weight. If you have more weight, the right type of Ghrutta will make you lose weight. It's a wonderful, therefore it's called as Amrut. If you have more cholesterol, it will decrease it. If you have less cholesterol, it will increase it. Everything, it will help us to do it. Certainly, there is another important point to be known, how to accept the Guru. It's Amrut. But how to eat it or how to accept it, rather than eat, I would say accept, because that's a respectable way to take it. Rather, eating is like enjoying. How to accept the Ghrutta in our life, I'll come into it. But another effect of Ghrutta is a very important point, is right intelligence. Right intelligence, and it just makes our brain give us a very right type of intelligence. Actually, it makes our brain develop a mode of goodness, what we call it today, sattvic. When we take Ghrutta in our life, automatically mode of goodness and the pran shakti and medha keeps on increasing. Sattva could increase in our life. You can meditate nicely. You can focus on your studies. You can sit straight for a long time. That is the increase of pran shakti. And therefore, this Ghrutta is such a wonderful thing. It just increases the pran shakti. And you can experience a peaceful mind. You won't have any tamoguri thoughts of like frustration, depression, suicidal thoughts. All these things will not happen if we accept the right type of Ghrutta in the right process in our life. So it increases mode of goodness, it increases overall vitality, it increases focus and meditation capacity. If those are into yoga, it will help you to do better yoga. Overall, the mode of goodness will increase when we accept Ghrutta in our life. Bodily fitness will also increase. Spiritual life will also increase. Before we move ahead, sometimes some people ask a question, how to know which is the original ghee or which is Ghrutta? First, no factory made will be the Ghrutta. Which is made in factory will not be. As I said, nothing from the factory should go into our mouth. It should be directly from the farm to the kitchen or goshala to the kitchen. Nothing from the factory should go into our mouth. That is not food, that is a product just to make money. Anyway, first test of Ghrutta, it is not from any branded factory or any brand. It may not, I don't want to take any brand, it's not Ghrutta. Second, there is nothing like texture, appearance, smell. Some people in Marathi or Hindi call it danedar. No. Just like any natural product. Just like we human beings, animals, the fruits that come on the natural farm, not a very chemicalized farm. They are all individual of a different shape, color, and texture. Similarly, this Ghrutta, when we make it all over India, even from the same cow, same milk, the ghee or the Ghrutta will be made, have different qualities in the summer season, in the winter season, in the rainy season. What the cow eats is fed only in the stand and just something grass in the stand, or she moves around. Everything will make the ghee different. So there is no way or no testing way which we can say that this ghee is real or wrong. There is one way, but no way by appearance or texture or smell. Because of this chemical factories, any appearance, any texture or any smell can be imitated. It can be easily copied. The one way to know whether you are getting the right type of Ghrutta is to get it from the reliable source. And second way, if I get time, I will repeat it, but it doesn't seem so that I will get time today, is what I showed in the Pran Shakti experiment, which I did in the lecture of cow urine. If you apply the ghee in your hand and you take that experiment, your strength will increase. That is the experiment. I won't repeat it now, but that way also you can check. If you put any other wrong type of ghee or Ghrutta, not Ghrutta is only right type, any type wrong type of ghee, your Pran Shakti will go down. That experiment we did in my lecture of cow urine, you can see it over there. But there are only two tests. First, reliable person, and second is Pran Shakti test. Any test which goes into laboratory or into the quantity of fat or how the texture danedar or yellow color or good smell. No, that we sometimes the rainy season Gurta will not be yellow. Sometimes some summer season Gurta will not be danedar. It won't happen. It will be full of variety. So anyway, something like that. So, so best option is get it from the reliable person or make it in the home. Before I go ahead, if you get a person, a reliable person who makes a Gurta, don't worry about the cost. The cost will be more than 2,000 rupees, approximately 2,500 to 3,000 rupees. Why? I will tell you. Because to make such a 1 kg of ghee, we require 30 liters of milk. In the factory, which makes by cream separating, they also require 30 liters of milk. But what happens when they separate, they sell a kg of milk and they sell the remaining kg of ghee and the remaining milk as a milk. Actually, what they do in the factory, the milk is amrut, the ghee is amrut, but because they make it the centrifugal way, neither remains amrut. Both loses the property of being amrut and both becomes bad for the human health. When we make the ghee gurta by this way, you lose the 30 liter of milk. Yes, certainly you get the charge, but you lose the milk. So 30 liters milk, approximately I go in a conservative amount, 60 rupees a liter or 70 rupees. Then the milk itself costs around 2,000 rupees. And then make into curd, heat and churn and this and that. It will cost around 2,500 rupees and some profit for the farmer. So it will be costing at least 2,500 to 3,000 rupees per kilo. And don't worry, it's nectar. Some will say, I can't afford it. But say, yes, you take just a small spoon of nectar rather than a big spoon of poison or toxic things. Those who can afford, they can take a big spoon of amrut or ghrutta. Those who can't afford, take a half spoon, take a 1/4 spoon or take a 1/8 spoon, but take the right thing. Because that will increase your pran shakti, and the factory ghee which will be available in 200, 500 or 800 rupees a kilo will decrease your pran shakti and make you sick. It won't give you any benefit. It's not a ghee. It's just something appearing as a ghee. It is not going to have any medical or health benefit or even intelligence or sattvic thought benefit. It will just make your food tasty, nothing more than that. So basically, the ghurta will be costing around 2,500 rupees to 3,000 rupees. Yes, I know everyone may not be able to afford it. You take it, but take only little quantity. That itself will work wonders in your life. And those who can afford, take a little more quantity, a half a spoon, 1 spoon, or 2 spoons in a day. It can. So basically, how to take it? For body or any diseases below the throat or below this bones, shoulder bones, below, you have to take the ghurta from the mouth. And any diseases above the throat, eyes, nose, ears, brain, everything over here, you have to take the ghurta from the nose. From the mouth, it goes in for all the body below this. And for all the body above the throat, you have to take it to the nose. I'll tell it how. Few thumb rules or very, very important points. In the Vedic culture, the ghurta has to be accepted. The ghurta I am telling, those who are joined late, they will have to go back, hear the recording first 10 minutes because there's a very, very important information over there. What is ghurta in the Vedic culture and what is ghee in the today's market? How they are both completely different and they have completely different effects. So the way to take ghurta in the Vedic culture is always hot, medium. If you see in the traditional days, if you go back 50 years, 30 years or something like that, the ghee will be served, it will be served hot. There is a small pot of ghee in every home. Nowadays we don't have. Previously we had. And that pot will be heated. The ghee will be heated. The ghurta will be heated. It will be served hot on hot rice with hot dal or hot curry. And you will eat it hot. So ghurta should be accepted in the body only in the hot state with hot food. Hot in the sense warm food, not burning hot, but pleasure, like pleasantly, which can be easily taken in our mouth. That's the best type of ghruta. If we take super cold, freeze cold, it won't be a amrut. It will again have a tendency to turn into toxics or poisons in the body. What does it mean? I'll come to it. But so ghruta should be accepted. That is the Vedic culture. All the ghee sweets and ghee items like gulab jam, jalebi, that original tradition was to eat it hot. Nowadays it might have changed, but original tradition to eat gulab jam which are made in ghee, original ghee, not the factory ghee. That is out of syllabus for me. If it is made in original ghee or jalebi fried in original ghee, it has to be accepted hot. Suppose you make a laddu or eat a laddu made from the ghruta, original ghee, then the system was to take the laddu and after that take a hot kadha in winter season or a hot milk. So it goes in and the ghruta is made hot in our stomach. So if the ghruta has to be amrut, nectar, we have to take it in warm state. Second, I would like to suggest a lifestyle change, which is very important. For whether you take a ghruta or you don't take a ghruta or anything in our whole life, please avoid foods that are freeze cold. The cold foods, when we eat in a very cold, yes, you have to heat it again and eat it. I'm telling the temperature of the food, we eat it. If the temperature of food is below room temperature, ideally it should be a little warm. But if it is below room temperature, and especially very cold, like cold kept in freeze or deep freeze, that will, when we eat such a cold food, even if we eat ghruta, that cold food will go into our body and change the nectar to the poison. What does it mean in today's medical language? When we eat cold food, in medical language, there are two types of cholesterol. They call it HDL and LDL. They call it HDL as a good cholesterol and LDL as a bad cholesterol. When we eat cold foods, any food for that matter, cold drinks, cold ice cream, even cold sabji or something like that, anything that is kept in the fridge and we eat it at cool temperature, in the body, that cool food will convert the HDL, which is good cholesterol, to bad cholesterol. And when we eat ghruta, in our body, lot of good cholesterol is made. And then we eat cold things, it will convert a good cholesterol into bad cholesterol, so it doesn't make much sense. So first, ghruta should be always taken in a warm format. And second, avoid anything. The cold food will be slowly killing our body. So avoid it. And third, okay. Just 1 minute. Second, and another point is that ghee should not be heated again. I just told you we should take it in a hot format. But at the same time, it should not be heated again and again. Once, twice, or thrice is enough. Therefore, what previously people would do, they would have ghee stock in a big container. And in that, from that, they would take up a stock in a small vessel, which would be heated before serving. So ideally, only that much is required in one serving would be taken, heated and served, maybe 2 or 3 servings. But more than that, if the ghee is, even the ghruta is heated again and again, the more we heat it, it will lose potency. Maximum 2-3 times heating is okay, not more than that. Ideally, only 1 time heating. But 2 times, 3 times is okay. So that was the system. People would have ghee in big stock in big vessel, but serving ghee in the previous times was in a small vessel, and that small vessel would be heated before serving. And you remember that small spoon, they would serve it in a liquid form. So ghee should be taken in a hot liquid form, and it should not be heated again and again. So now I come little bit to a more of a medical effects of the ghruta, the nectar effects of the ghruta on our body on the medical side. As I said, it's a first thing, it does a balancing thing. High blood pressure will bring down, low blood pressure will increase. Where there is more fat, it will decrease it. Where there is less fat, it will increase it. If you have a lot of hunger, it will make it balanced. If you don't have hunger, it will increase the hunger. Certainly, just because it is amrut, don't take it in liters. Take it a spoon or 2 daily. Not in a half a liter, 1 liter like that. Certainly, it's difficult to take a liter of ghee in 1 day. But anyway, so it's basically it will regenerate. Amrut means wherever there is a dead cells or toxic cells in our body, it will regenerate that. It will remove the toxins, just like cow urine will do it. It will remove. Therefore, this pancha amrut, it is called as panchamrut. Cow urine, cow dung, milk, and curd and gruta, ghee. And they will regenerate your body, they will remove the toxins and like that. So basically, as I said, any joint pains, see, all this happens because of lack of lubrication and dryness. Blood pressure happens because of dryness. What do you call it? That get blockages happen because of basically what happens when you take cold things, no? Our body needs HDL is like something like lubricants, oil. Our body needs lubricants. But when we take cold food or ghee in the cold format, it starts turning into something like grease. Grease is very thick. It will cause blockages. So therefore, cold food will turn the lubricating highly desired cholesterol into blockaging less desired cholesterol. Yes, our body requires some LDL, some little. It requires. Grease is also required. Grease means grease type of internal fatty thing is required, but more is required of a lubricating, a loose type of oil type of thing. So when we start eating gruta in a hot format, it just starts lubricating. See, when we keep anything in the sun or wind, it dries off. Like if you nowadays we have a lot of plastic things, I don't have anything around. But suppose this is a plastic, say plate or spoon. After a few years, it just becomes hard and dry and breaks. So when this the lubricant thing, when it dries off, it breaks. Similarly, our joint ends, joint pains, the bones, when they become dry, they become brittle. So the gruta will again add that lubricants into the bones and joints. It will add lubricants into the blood, so blood will flow very nicely. When the blood flows nicely, the heart pressure goes down. What is the sort of heart pressure? Blood pressure. Blood pressure is nothing. When the blood is not flowing properly, the heart starts pressurized, putting more pressure on the blood so that it will flow. But when the blood flows properly, the heart will give less pressure. So this gruta will make the movement smooth, movements of the blood, movements of the bones, the strength of the bones. It will increase because it will give a lubricating effect. And those ladies who know how to make that, today now Shankar, Diwali is coming, how to make the Shankar Pala and everything, they add little oil or ghee to the atta. They call it mom or something like that. That's what this gruta will do. It will go into your body and add that lubricating thing in your bones and muscles and everything. But that has to be gruta. And if we take it cold, it will become dry and they will become brittle, like a dry plastic, old plastic. So when we have to accept the gruta to the mouth, I told hot, with hot food, the gruta should be hot. That is the main thing. And it will work wonders in your body. As I said, I myself took care of my knee pain. Also, overall, it helped me to improve my japa, my chanting, my meditation. It made my mind think more in a sattvic way. I don't say everything is achieved in a day's time or it's like a magic. But yes, in few weeks and few months, you can see the difference within your thought process and like that. Just few more uses of gruta. And another very important problem for patients and old people is called as bed sores. And even allopathy or anipathy is very difficult to cure bed sores. I'm not saying it's impossible, but very, very difficult and they become very painful for the old people. But if you have this gruta, no other ghee, this gruta and cow dung ash, both are full of pran. You make a paste of gruta and cow dung ash and apply where there are bed sores. I did it for my father. He also was like bedridden in the end part of his life. And he used to develop bed sores because of dry skin. Again, the skin becomes dry and it cuts open and the sores develop over there. Same, in the old age, the skin becomes dry. So if you have been eating gruta in the right time, the skin won't become so much dry because it is already being lubricated. But if we don't eat or we eat the wrong type of ghee, it will become dry. And when we lie down on the bed for a long time, bed sores will develop. But right now, if they are developed, even sometimes the bed sores I've seen in another patient's case, which were 1 inch deep, the bones were all practically visible just by applying this paste of cow dung ash and gruta. If you don't have either of it, you can use only one of it. But if you have both of it, then that's the best. If you have only cow dung ash, apply it. That will also work wonders in bed sores. If you have only Ghruta, it will also work. But if you apply both, that is really wonderful. And you will see within days, the bed sores getting cured like this. Then, so you try it out. Just to go ahead to end in time, if you want to accept how to take for decisions about the throat. I told you through the nose. And here the Ghruta works really amazingly wonderfully. Throat means do I mean to put a half liter of ghee in the nose? No, sorry. As I said, the right way and the right quantity. Only 1 drop of ghee in the nostril in a day. That's all. And it will work wonders. Therefore, it is called as Amrut. And therefore, 2,500 rupees a liter doesn't cost anything because you have to use only 1 drop in the nose per day. So 2 drops totally, 1 drop in one nostril, another in another. Just 1 drop in a nostril, so 2 drops per day will work wonders for anything about the throat. I will tell what if you do it for 6 months, how to do it? Take the right ghee or Ghruta, heat warm, make it lukewarm or warmer than our body. There also you should not heat it. So take a small quantity which will be done only in what do you call it? Which can be heated only 2, 3 times, 4 times, not more than that. So take a small quantity of ghee, heat it in any metal or glass vessel, and just take a dropper. You know, we have droppers to put up ink in our old ink pens. Take a dropper or somehow other by a small spoon. You sleep like this. You are flat, and after sleeping, you tilt the head this way, and just put a warm, quite warm, not warm that it will burn your nose, but quite warm. Drop into your one nostril, another drop into another nostril, and keep your head tilted for 10 minutes. It's better you do it at the night time, so you keep your head tilted for 10 minutes and then you sleep. But in the daytime is also okay. After 10 minutes, you can get up. Don't pull the heat like that. You breathe very slowly, gradually, and let the 1 drop of ghee just flow it. It will go into the head and even the throat and everything. Just 1 drop of Ghruta through the nose, what it can do? It can increase your seeing power, eye power, hearing power, smelling power. For myself, what I observe for my personal self, it increased my hearing power and smelling power. My teeth at that time, even now, because of my inherent nature, but it can improve. It does improve. Teeth were quite irregular. This is a Vat dosh like this, not in a very perfect line. And therefore, there are quite gaps in the teeth. Just by putting ghee for a few months in the nose, 1 drop, 1 day, so 2 drops. I just saw my teeth getting in the very line, right line. And then also hearing, the hairs turn from white to black because graying hairs are a pitta dosh. They turn from white to black. They become more dense also. The hair became more dense. I noticed that because I shave my head. Previously, I would shave the hairs were sparse, not very dense. Now they become more dense. They become black. I noticed that my teeth got arranged. So if you try it, you will see wonders happening in your life. So anyway, so that is the way to put a drop of ghee in the nose. Shelf life of ghee, which is Ghruta, which is made properly. As I said, it's a variety, big variety. If it is made in the winter season, it can be used for internal purpose for 1 year. If it is made in the summer season, hot season, it should be used within 2 or 3 months, ideally 2 months. It should not be, after that it will lose potency. It won't become bad, but it will lose potency. And in the rainy season, depends on the temperature, it can be used for 3-4 months. But winter season, if it is made, it can be kept for 1 year. After that, Ghruta has a very, very wonderful external uses. It can be used for that. But internal purposes, it won't be bad, but it won't be that much effective. You can't see the results very fast and quick. In fact, for external purpose, in many places, older Ghruta is better. Like some of you know, during Shivaji Maharaj's time, 300 years back, 400 years back, in India, especially the armies, they would have big wells full of ghee, and they would have old ghee, 1 year, 5 year, 10-year-old ghee. And after the war, those who are injured by swords and javelins and spears, the wounded soldiers would come back. They would take ghee and just apply it on their wounds. And that ghee, which is old, 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 8 year, 10-year-old ghee, they would apply on the wounds of all the soldiers. The first day it will pain a lot. The soldiers would actually cry. But within 2 or 3 days, there will be no septic on any wound, and the wounds will be very fast healing. So that is one way of external. In many skin diseases, also growth can be applied externally. Also, cow urine is more effective over there for skin diseases. So in short, this ghruta, what is ghruta? The original ghee I explained in the beginning of this today's talk. Those who joined late should go back. Otherwise, you will take something wrong as the right, and you won't get the results. Please, those who have joined late, go for the first 10 minutes of today's talk, and you should find out over there what the right type of ghee or the ghruta is. In short, what is the right type of ghee or ghruta? Made from the Vedic cows, made by making the milk, made from the milk of the Vedic cows, made by making the milk into curd, not into the factory and centrifuge or something like that. After making the curd, churning it by hand in both directions, or a machine which moves in both directions. Bidirectional movement should be there. So that is the main thing. And after the butter comes out, to heat it on a very small flame. That makes it into ghruta, the nectar ghee. Just let me see if some points are remaining, or I will take the questions as some of you have asked in the chat. And I know I have 10 minutes for that. Yeah. It will reduce the bad cholesterol. The first question is coming. Okay, the first question is top. Anyway, because I've seen this question first, I'll take and then I'll go at the top. Yes, pure ghee. As I said, pure ghee means ghruta made from Vedic cow, made by making curd, made by hand churn. When that ghruta is accepted in the hot way, with hot milk, hot rice, hot roti, hot curry, whatever it may be, it will increase our good cholesterol, and automatically the bad cholesterol will decrease. You need not take you just take 1 spoon or 2 spoons per day, but it will do that. At the same time, if you really want to have very good results, stop eating anything freeze cold. Stop eating. In the summer season, you can drink cool water from matka. Matka, the cold water will not go beyond some degree. It will, in the summer season, you can eat cold water from the matka. That's okay. So now I go to the first, because the first had the first right to answer. Okay. Okay. I won't give any specific answer to specific brands, but anything that is branded is not a ghruta. I already told in the first 15 minutes, anyone that manufactures in a big scale, thousands of liters, is not ghruta. It's just not simply possible. It has to be in the small scale, or in a rare case, a medium scale. You have to know the person making it and who is a reliable person. Any big brand, thousands of liters of ghee is not ghruta. Sorry. It might be from the Vedic cow, but it's not made by curding it and made by hand churning it or churning in the bidirection. That's not possible. So I won't name a brand. That's not my job. But any brand is not ghruta. It has to be localized, sourced from the local farmers, local whom you know it, or you can get it from a far off place. But you have to know that person, or your very close friend has to know it. That's the way to go it, get it. And best is to make it at the home. Yeah. There are machines, some people make it, that imitate the slow motion. You can see, because I am not into the making things, I am into studying things, but I have seen people making the machines. One simple thing is, you see, sometimes you get a hand machine also to churn. They have these 2 things, and they move in. They have 2 things. They are one type of machine, 2 types of machine. One machine, the motor changes the direction, this way, this way. Motor doesn't change the direction. The gear changes the direction of the same rod. That is the best. If not, there are 2 rotors moving in 2 directions. That is also okay. But there are people use that machines. From where to get it, I also have to find out from my friends. Priya Chaitanya Pro will give my mobile number and you can WhatsApp me, but I will take some time to answer, or you can also go on the net. But there are machines available to imitate the slow motion of a hand charm. That's available. You will have to search it. Okay, next question. No. Nasal drop ghee and original ghee doesn't have any difference. You can buy the bulk. Only nasal drop ghee is they sell in a small bottle with a what do you call it? Dropper and etc. in a glass bottle which you can heat it. Convenient. Yes, some places they sell a special nasal drop ghee. They take more care. What more care? Like they feed the calf to the full satisfaction. Only that milk which remains, they take that. And sometimes because see, when the cows gives milk with joy, it will have more pran shakti. And sometimes even today is happening when the calf gets little less milk, it will have less pran shakti. So otherwise, it's the same. Basically, principle is same, but some people make that take more care of the cow, and from that cow they make a ghee, and therefore they sell it as a better type of nasal drop. But it's the same ghee made from the cow, Indian cow making curd, and only difference that can be there is okay. One small point. Good question. I remember no. If you have ghee, generally ghruta, you will see sometimes, as I said, it again depends on the season and which cow you make it from, which season. Sometimes the ghee which is made has a liquid portion in the top and a solid portion, semi-solid portion in the bottom. So for the nose, it's always better to use the liquid portion of the top. But if that is not available or that is over, you can use the solid portion of the bottom also. So that difference can be there. Nasal drop ghee is generally from the top liquid portion, and from eating, both is okay. For putting in the nose also, both is okay, but preferred is the top liquid one. Yeah, you can take ghee with the milk, but again the milk should be hot from the Vedic cow, and it is digestible. Take in the evening time, and if somebody really has problem with digesting the milk, it's not a question based on Vat. I am a Vat Prakriti person, and I did take hot milk with ghee regularly. I did not have any problem. But if someone has, he may take it with hot rice or hot roti. It will take a little longer to show the effect, but it will have the effect. Yeah, high cholesterol. Yes, take the ghee, right ghee in the right way. Right ghee is the ghruta. Right way is always hot and never eat any cold things. It will reduce the bad cholesterol and increase the good cholesterol. Online, sorry, online there can be some way where you can get the good ghruta. I will not, because this is an ongoing process. Every year you have to check whether the person is reliable. See, if you go for a jeweler, you check whether the shop is reliable, whether the person is reliable. So at present, the ghruta is more rare than the gold. So it's a always updating system. So I won't recommend any person over here, because he will be recommended today and tomorrow the person will change. So you have to do some homework. If you understand this ghruta is more valuable than gold, I have told you what way to do the homework. You have to find out around yourself. And as I said, as the demand is increasing, slowly people are making it more and more. I am very happy the farmers are making it, Goshalas are making it. So you go there rather than going to some Goa or something, go to Goshala, see how they make the ghruta. You can tell them that if you make it the right way, you will help to sell it. So it's the work which you have to do little bit. Ideal quantity is again depend. Ideal quantity of ghee. Okay, can you use the remaining curd to make buttermilk? Yes, buttermilk has many uses. It's a different topic altogether. Buttermilk we can drink. We can use for farms. 100%. After making the butter, you can use the buttermilk for anything you want, for whatever things you want. Wonderful, no problem. Ideal quantity. It depends on person, his age, everything. But I would say begin with a spoon or two. But if you can't afford it, take a half spoon. If you can't afford that, take a 1/4 or 1/8 of the spoon. But does it take the right thing? is it true that ghee taken empty stomach in the morning with hot water is more beneficial for the brain and the body? I don't know. I have not heard it. I have not come across it. But ghee should be always taken with hot. So hot water is one option for a hot meal if you don't get it. But ghee has to be taken in hot. I don't know specifically empty stomach early morning with hot water. Sorry, I have not studied it. I don't deny it and I don't recommend it also because I just don't know about this. Okay, maybe last one or two questions. If we include the right ghee or the gruta in small quantity along with the ghee available in the market, it will help. It will help. The gruta will help, and the ghee will damage. Uh, you can't. See, you can't. I would say man has to, after getting the right intelligence and the right information, he has to come out of the illusion. Better accept the reality. Yeah, I mean, just because the things which are sold under the name of ghee, they taste a bit, why we should do damage to ourselves? First, get the right type of ghee or gruta, and if you still need, go for organic filtered oil. That is quite good available nowadays in the market, not the refined ones. Refined ones are factory processed, highly processed. Organic filtered oil you use for cooking and frying, and for small quantity, if you have afford, you can use that also gruta. But if not, the factory ghee, please avoid it. If you take both, just like those who have attended some Bhagavad Gita lectures, if you do good karma and bad karma, yes, good karma will give you good results and bad karma will give you bad results. So similarly, if you take the right small quantity of gruta along with the factory ghee, the gruta will give you good results and the factory ghee will give you bad results. Maybe the net result will be the zero. Hare Krishna. Any local source? I have some sources known all over India. If you WhatsApp me your place of residence, I might help you or I might not be able to help you. Or as we have network of people who love or to study about cows, I might be able to connect you to someone over there. Something like that. I can just tell. See, is A2 cow ghee available more than 2000 rupees? Is it reliable? The price will be that much, but whether it is reliable, you have to do the homework again. Just by sitting here, see, just because somebody claims it is A2 ghee, it will be A2 cow, but it will not be made into the right process. As I said, a small from change of unidirectional to bidirectional, what I experienced, I shared it. So basically, everyone has to make some homework, some effort to find out the right group available nearby you. As I said, ghee used in tadka, once heating is okay, but heating the ghee again and again will decrease its potency. Okay, how to avoid heating ghee again and again daily, putting in nose? It's okay if you eat 5, 6 times, 7 times. So you take a small bottle and add that much only ghee, which you like, say 2 drops. So add only very small quantity, say 15 drops. Small vessel, you heat only that small vessel. After 6, 7 days, you add another stock for 7 days. So you just heat the ghee. The first day the ghee is heated only 1 time, second day 2 times, 3 days, and the last 6, 7 days will be heated 6, 7 times. I would say that is a good limit, not more than that. It's okay after that also, but the prana shakti will go on decreasing. The problem of slurring speech, as I said, ghee is a wonder. You can try it by putting in the nose, and I feel strongly after a few months it will help. And if it helps, you come back to me and you tell me that it helped karke. But you can certainly, it's worth trying. Very, very worth trying. No. The gruta used in cholesterol, the whole idea of the Vedic culture is, yes, it can, no, gruta used for tadka, the food should be also eaten warm. Generally, rice, dal, sabji should be eaten warm. So that way, if we eat warm food, it won't be bad for us. I think, Priya Chaitanya Prabhu, I am 3 minutes over time, and I don't think any question on the question we can repeat it is. source of ghee. As I said, that we have to work out, and there are options available. And for individual location, they will have to WhatsApp me. I might be able to help them, or I might not be able to help them. I don't have source for every location. Last question has come, and I will take that. Best way to overcome anxiety is connected to brain. So put a drop of ghee in the nostril, or both one drop here and there. And as I said, tilt your head, let the ghee slowly flow for 10 minutes. Then either you can sleep or you can get up. So Priya Chaitanya Prabhu, I feel I should end. You can just share my WhatsApp number. Please don't call it. And I do take 2 to 5 days to answer WhatsApp. Yes, epilepsy, it will help. Especially when the epilepsy attack comes, if you put it in the nose, it will help in a better way. But epilepsy, basically, yes, just like you take medicines regularly for epilepsy, you can stop medicines after you start ghee, but then ghee should not be stopped. You have to go with either. But yes, ghee will be needed for the lifetime to avoid epilepsy attack in the nose. But initially, you start putting ghee, and then you stop the medicines half the quantity after 15 days, then more half after 1 month. And like that, you can stop medicine. Not that you stop from the day one, but after you are putting ghee 1 month in the nose, you can stop medicines, but then ghee should be done daily. You should not miss that. Just like if you miss the medicines, the attack comes. Epilepsy, if you miss the ghee, attack might come. So one thing has to go on regularly. Hare Krishna. I think I end. Hare Krishna. Priya Chaitanya Prabhu, you can take over.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Madan Gopal Prabhu. And thank you for all the participants for participating and giving your patient hearing. We will share the recording also in the WhatsApp groups, and it will be available on Govardhan Ayurveda YouTube channel. We have shared Madan Gopal Prabhuji's WhatsApp number just in case you have any sincere query in regards to ghee and other health issues. You can WhatsApp him. Prabhuji will take a week's time to reply. Also, Prabhuji mentioned about his blogspot. Very, very informative and interesting articles on mgdas.com. So please take advantage of all this, and we will continue with our series of cow products and cow with Madan Gopal Prabhu. Thank you.
Blessings.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.